Hey guys, TacticalOyster here, bringing you guys a dual commentary with Archaic.
So,
Alright, and Archaic, you don't have your YouTube channel officially up and running as of this recording, but you will soon, so I'll have his channel linked in the description. He's going to be uploading this to his channel as well, so if you're watching over there, I'm TacticalOyster, you should definitely sub to me. If you're watching on my channel, this is Archaic, and you should definitely sub to him. What we're going to be talking about today is the new Call of Duty reveal, and this is just going to be a quick dual com, because the Call of Duty reveal is coming up on Sunday, and they have released the trailer, of course, or the leaked trailer, whatever that everybody's talking about. I haven't watched it, and that's kind of plays into our topic, which is going to be, number one, does anybody really care about the COD reveal, and does anybody really care about the next Call of Duty, and two, what are our expectations for it? So, Archaic, you want to go ahead and address some of that?
um, I think people still care, maybe not quite as much as they used to, since Ghost bombed as hard as it did.
Yeah, agreed.
But the excitement's still not there. I think it'll come closer to E3 when the multiplayer reveal is more than likely going to drop somewhere in that time period. But I mean, the hype won't start until then.
I guess I personally don't really care that much just because Ghost was such a letdown. I think it'll be interesting to see how Sledgehammer handles this, because obviously Sledgehammer, people saying it's a completely new developer, so it's not. Sledgehammer did have a hand in Modern Warfare 3. I'm not sure off the top of my head what exactly they worked on in Modern Warfare 3, whether it was multiplayer, single player. I'm not sure if you know that which one it was, Archaic, but
I think they worked on a little bit of everything, but I'm not sure.
yeah, so it's not a completely new developer, but it does start the 3-year development cycle, which, worst case scenario, means more time for Treyarch to make the best COD games, as usual. Best case scenario means maybe they can all make decent games, but all I know is that this is a very important Call of Duty, and I think you would agree that this is an important Call of Duty
Yes.
to not only recapture some of the people that have been lost from the franchise because of Ghost, like myself, and possibly you as well. I'm not sure how much you've been playing Ghost, but also to keep more people from getting lost in the franchise, because they can't afford another flop, if you ask me.
They definitely can't afford another flop. I wouldn't say that I've been lost from Call of Duty. I've been lost from Ghost. I will agree. But I still enjoy going back and playing Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. So it's not that I hate the series. I just don't think that Ghost reached its potential, and it definitely didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
So
Another thing to keep in mind is, and we don't know when the development process started for this game relative to when the consoles, we were able to start developing for the new consoles, but I feel like Ghosts, if it they had focused on the next gen consoles, because obviously Ghost came out. Did Ghost come out before the next gen consoles came out? It did, didn't it?
yes, it came out, I want to say, a week before the PlayStation, or maybe right at the same time as the PlayStation,
Right.
and then the Xbox dropped, what, a week later?
Yeah. So it was around the same time, but obviously they knew that a good bit of their audience was going to be on the current, or I guess past gen, as you want to, whatever you want to call it now, 360 and the PS3. And a majority probably still will be on those consoles for this new Call of Duty, but it'll definitely be more on the next gen consoles than it was for Ghost. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to tap into that to try to maybe maximize the game's potential. Archaic, what would you, if you had to give a couple guidelines as far as they need to do X, Y, and Z to quote unquote fix the series or rebound from Ghost, what do you think they did wrong in Ghost that they need to correct in this next game to improve the series?
What I would suggest doing is something kind of like the way Titanfall went with their release. Focus 100% on the 360 or the One and the PS4. Put all your efforts there, and then you can downgrade it, do whatever you have to take it back to the 360 and the PS3. I don't think even that they should release at the same time myself.
That's an interesting thought.
I know Titanfall made a lot of people mad doing that, but as a game, Titanfall's a pretty sound next-gen game. It's one of the best out there. That's not saying much, though.
Good point. Good point.
Let's keep that on the table.
Yes.
That's a compliment, but an insult
At the same time.
at the same time.
The next gen offerings have been a bit weak, but that's another subject. We don't need to get into that.
Yes. What else do I think they should do?
I mean, gameplay-wise, especially, because I mean, obviously,
Speed it up.
Yeah.
You can't go with those big maps again. People have grown accustomed to the small maps.
See, as someone who always played, as I've said this a million times on my channel, but as someone who's always played a slower, more defensive playstyle, I refuse to call it camping, because in my mind, camping is staying in one spot or within like a 10-foot by 10-foot radius for a majority of the game. That's not what I do, but I do play slower, more methodical, and really think out my positioning, and it usually made me successful. It didn't make me successful in Ghosts, because everybody was forced to do that, because of the map size and the map layouts. What I would like to see is, one, I want to see some, I'd say, if I had to pick a couple things, I'd say, one, I want to see a re-implementation of League play, which I believe I've heard that they're probably going to do. Because that's one thing that kept me going in Black Ops 2, is that the competitiveness. I'm a competitive person in all aspects of what I do for the most part. So I'd like to see a re-implementation of that. I think they need maps that are big but play small. Because there were certain maps in Black Ops 2, and I'm going to use Black Ops 2 as a reference point because it's the most recent Call of Duty that did not suck. So, with all due respect to Ghost, it sucks. So, Black Ops 2, there were maps that you feel like you could play big or small. You feel like there was plenty of fast-paced action in Black Ops 2, I think everyone will agree. But there was also plenty of long-range sightlines and engagements you could have. It kind of was a game where it felt really balanced for the majority of the game, at least to me. For the most part, there were some overpowered weapons, I would say, in certain phases of the game where certain weapons were dominant. But I feel like, in general, in Black Ops 2, you could use almost any weapon class and succeed, although you may disagree with me. I sense you might be disagreeing with me.
No, I do. I agree very much so, because you played League play with me.
Yep.
I never constantly ran either an AR or an SMG. I would switch it up. I could go through shotguns, snipers, ARs, SMGs, and now it's if you can snipe well, you're going to destroy everybody.
Right.
And SMGs and shotguns, well, I can't say so much for SMGs now. At the beginning of the game, SMGs were borderline unusable.
In Black Ops 2?
No.
Or in Ghosts? Are we talking Ghosts now? Okay, Ghosts.
I brought it back to Ghosts.
Alright.
But, like, at the beginning of Ghosts, if you weren't using the Remington or the SC-110...
Or the Burst one, I forget what it's
called. Or the MSBS.
MSBS. Literally the MSBS.
You were getting destroyed. That's it. You had 3 weapon choices. Which I don't like. I like to vary my game up. I'll play with every weapon in the game. My favorite weapon in Black Ops 2 was the 4-round burst shotgun. Or the auto shotgun, whatever you want to call it.
The M1216.
That one. That was my favorite gun in the game. I had over a 2.0 KD with that gun.
I think the biggest thing that Ghost is missing, obviously weapon balance is important, obviously map size is important, but this is kind of my final thought as far as what Ghost is missing, what they need to bring back is, you know, I've been playing Call of Duty, I've said many times as well, since Call of Duty 2. I've been playing for, 8-9 years, I don't know. So, in each Call of Duty, whether it's been good, bad, average, whatever, they've all made me want to play it. I felt an urge to play them at some point or another. Black Ops 2, I wanted to play it all the time. World at War, I wanted to play it all the time. Other games, like Modern Warfare 3, for example, I didn't want to play all the time, but I still had that itch to play, every now and then. Ghost I don't have that itch to play, and I think something about Ghost, to me, when I play it, just doesn't feel like Call of Duty. Like, the aesthetics of it doesn't look like Call of Duty. It doesn't play like the past Call of Duties. I think whatever that it factor is that Call of Duty has, and some people say it's the fast pace, some people say it's other things. I don't know, but they need to get that it factor back and make it feel like a Call of Duty again, because Ghost just felt like a game that was completely separate from the rest of the franchise, just from how it felt to play it, at least in my mind.
I'll agree there. I think it felt clunky to play.
I think that's a good word to use.
The controls, yeah, they're the same controls, but the fluidity wasn't there. It wasn't what it was before. Which seems weird that you digress in that area. That should be an area you're always progressing in. It shouldn't be that hard to progress. Or at least keep the status quo.
I would agree.
But, we mentioned something earlier about maps. Maps may not be remade in this.
Oh, good point. We need to talk about that, because this is one positive, I guess, or negative. I don't know how some people view it differently, but there won't be any remade maps, I would assume, in this game, because of the fact that Sledgehammer's making it, and Sledgehammer presumably doesn't own any of the past maps. So, how do you feel about maps reskins?
I personally, I'm fine with reskins if you're not making me pay for them and they're not part of the season, or if they're part of the season pass, whatever. Mm-hmm. But actually, no, I want them free. If you're going to reskin a map that we've all already played, give it to me free. I don't mind that you reskin it. It's another map to play. Normally they're popular maps. I mean, I'll go back. I didn't much enjoy Terminal being remade, but
neither did I.
That's because it was just everyone got on there and sniped, and that's all they did.
Or camped, one or the other. But yeah.
And camping while sniping.
The worst combo.
So, I'm actually ready to see a Call of Duty that releases a full map set again.
Yeah, because it's been a while. Black Ops 1 maybe? Did they do full map sets? I don't remember.
Yes. I'll give it to Modern Warfare 3. They did it right. They didn't reskin a map and then give it to you as a payable DLC.
Yeah, because Terminal was free.
Terminal was free to everybody.
I will say, I personally don't mind if you're going to put reskin maps into my map packs that I'm paying for on two conditions. Well, I guess one condition, really, but there's multiple parts of this condition. If you're going to put reskin maps in for me to pay for, okay, that's fine. Make it so that the rest of the map pack is, you just knock it out of the park. Because if you're gonna give me two reskin maps that I like, but still two reskin maps, and then just two average, run-of-the-mill DLC maps that get discarded after 3 weeks, no, that's not acceptable. Because I did not get my money's worth. If you want to give me one reskinned map, and then 3 really good DLC maps, and then maybe a gun, or some camos or something, in one map pack, then that's okay with me, because I still feel like I'm getting my money's worth, because I do think there is some value to a reskin map. It just you have to make up for the value that's lost, because obviously a reskin map, let's say in a regular map pack, if you get 4 maps that are all completely original, you split it up, and each of those maps is 25% of your map pack, right? If one of those maps is a reskin, you could say, well, that's not a full remake, so instead of 25%, that's, like 15%. Then you gotta make up that extra percentage to get it back to being a fully blown map pack that's good, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to people, what I'm trying to get across there.
I'll agree. I could take it that way. It would be more stomachable. I just hate paying for DLC and then getting 4 maps, 2 of which I've played for a year already.
Yeah, definitely agreed. All right, you ready to wrap up, I guess?
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you made it to this point, hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a comment below with what your thoughts are on the COD reveal. Do you care that the next COD's coming out? Are you even going to buy the next Call of Duty? What do you think they need to do to turn the series around? And what would you do if you were in charge to try to turn the series around? Because God knows they need some help. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please be sure to subscribe to both of us, whoever's channel you're watching this on. Drop a like. As I said, comment below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.